Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for an album review. Cloud Nothings, Attack on Memory. Cloud Nothings is a Cleveland indie rock band, and it's been about a year since I was first introduced to this project when it dropped its sophomore LP, which was self-titled, on CARPARK Records. And even though I liked this album a little bit when it first came out, my problem with it ultimately is that I felt like it was kinda forgettable, which kind of plays out in the fact that I cannot remember not a single song from it. The album was chasing after that really lo-fi, washed out, reverby rock sound that's been big ever since 2008, 2009. And these days, you know, it's a sound, it's a style that I'm really just fed up with. I'm just not interested in it, you know? I always try to keep my ears open to whatever is new and whatever is going on and whatever style of music, but it's difficult to stay interested. It's difficult to feel excited when you've got so many bands lining up to beat the same exact drum. Cloud Nothings did a huge 180 with this new LP, Attack on Memory. Even though that is the title, I think this album is really memorable. This album just brings a set of songs that are just very clear and muscular tracks from genres like indie rock and punk rock and post-hardcore, maybe with a little bit of emo thrown in there, old school, cool-ass emo, not the emo everybody's like, oh, that's emo. I would just say the strong points of this LP are catchy hooks, strong vocals, and lots of variety in the 33 minutes that this LP lasts. And to speak about the variety of this thing, this album does churn out a few different kinds of songs. And the first kind of song you'll run into on here, especially on tracks 1 and 2, are these slow burners. These really hard, emotional rock songs that feel just influenced by the repetition of bands like Slint, but have that fire and that drive of like a Fugazi song. A track like No Future, No Past just has this riff and it's being laid on over and over, and each time it's getting louder, it's getting rougher, it's getting harder, as well as the vocals too and the drums. And the second track, Wasted Days, 3 minutes into the song, it just breaks into this groove that gets jammed out until the song ends at around the 9-minute mark. And this jam is a real ride. It's fantastic to hear the change that Cloud Nothings have made on this LP. They are just sounding so much more together, cohesive, instrumentally. You know what I mean? It sounds like you're really hearing a band rock the hell out. Wow, the guitars are getting noisy, the vocals are just losing control, but the album is not just one long, drawn-out jam after another. Cloud Nothings throws out some really fast and catchy songs on here too, but doesn't cheapen the music or make it just feel dumbed down in the process. And I think the king of all the songs that fit that bill is definitely the track Stay Useless. The introduction of the song sounds like it could have been written for a Strokes tune, but the song kind of morphs into what could have been like an indie rock song from the 90s, but it doesn't really feel old and nostalgic. The vocals just have this really kind of strong teenage personality, and the hook just hits so hard I just want to go, I need time to stop moving. Sometimes the lyrics are barely intelligible. It's like, you're hearing these growls sometimes. The vocals do come off a little amateur, but they are so emotive and authentic, you know? That cannot be questioned, at least, the emotions behind the vocals. They seem really just angry at some points, depressed at other points, anxious. There's another track on this that goes really dark and heavy, and it's the track No Sentiment. And it's on that song you get these just wailing guitars, these huge heavy bass riffs, and on here I can really tell these guys are using that Steve Albini production. Yes, Cloud Nothings actually worked with Steve Albini to put this album together. I'm sure it had a lot to do with why the music and the sound is different on this LP, and if there is one track on here where that is heavily displayed, it's that one. And I like the idea of the song too in the lyrics. It feels like the lyrics are about being kind of aggressive toward the past, aggressive towards the things we remember. We don't care what you do, we don't care what we'll lose in the process of forgetting, in the process of attacking the past. What you're doing artistically and when you're doing it, I think, is a theme that gets played out on the next track, and that's the song Our Plan. It has some really kind of strong driving guitars and bass on there, some nice keyboard kind of lost in the mix a little bit, and the lyrics go, original, it'll never get old, essential, it'll never get old. I think it kind of pokes fun at the way we listen to music, consume music, like perceive music and celebrate it, how maybe, and again, this is my interpretation, that we have these albums and these sounds and these artists that we, throw away, they're garbage, we ignore them, oh, that's bad, but there are others that we just kind of treat like sacred cows, oh, that's never going to get old. The track Cut You is a nice little relationship song. Fall In has a female vocal thrown into the background there for a nice little extra sound, and the song Separation is a nice little instrumental as well. At the end of the day, I feel like this album just kind of feels like a batch of tracks, just an assembly of random ass songs. I didn't feel any kind of one strong theme, idea, or songwriting style on this thing. No real climactic ending either. Didn't really blow me away, but this is an extremely catchy, well-produced, well-written batch of rock songs. Rock songs that I feel like I could come back to, that I want to come back to, that I want to repeat. Blaring guitars, great interplay between the musicians, memorable hooks. It comes off as really approachable, but has this really badass and aggressive edge to it too. This LP, to me, is a huge improvement upon Cloud Nothing's previous work. I'm feeling a light 8 on this thing. Strong 7 to a light 8. If you love rock, if you love indie rock, give this a listen. And let me know what you think. Do you love this thing? Do you hate it? Why? And what should I review next? Let me know. Anthony Fantano, Cloud Nothings, forever.